Okay, what's up guys? And yeah, today's gonna be a bit different because I didn't feel like recording myself. And the weekend was a bit of a roller coaster. It was fun, it was good, had great times with my mates, watched some sports, but yeah, on Sunday I just had a bit of Sunday blues, so well, some people can't drive. I had a bit of Sunday blues, but I did get in a gym session nonetheless. But today, let's talk about how not to be skinny, or how to get out of that hole. How not to be skinny, how to pick up weight, how to pick up muscle, or how to get bigger. It's all the same thing. Or this will answer all those questions. And I used to be like that. I used to be skinny. I've trained all my life, I've been into sport all my life, but I did struggle a lot with picking up weight, especially with sports where we were required to pick up weight, get bigger, and yeah, I always struggled with it. I looked for all different type of ways to get bigger fast. And at the end of the day, it's a process. It's not something that happens overnight. There's no magic pill. There's no super food that you can eat and then the next day you're going to be big or whatever, pick up fat. Unless you use steroids, you'll pick up like muscle mass within like 2 weeks, like kilos of muscle mass. But that's not what this is about, and neither do I take steroids or have personal experience with it, so I'm not going to give you any advice on that. But anyways, basically the principle is eating more than the calories you burn in a day. So depending on your age, depending on your gender, depending on your height, depending on your current weight, there's a certain amount of calories that you can eat in a day that won't let you pick up or lose weight. Okay, so now stay with me. If you eat over that on a consistent basis, so if you eat over that middle amount that this allows you to pick up or lose, if you eat over it consistently, you'll start to pick up weight over time. And the same goes vice versa. If you eat under it consistently, you'll start losing weight. And again, that's where the factor of your age, your gender and your height, your weight comes into play. Because every person burns calories without doing anything. Any human, that's just a natural process of burning calories just by simply existing. Then daily things like training burns calories. These are things to keep in mind. A very simple way to kind of get like a roundabout idea of what your maintenance calories is. So maintenance calories is a term for that amount of calories that you can eat without picking up or losing weight. That's your maintenance calories. There's a way to calculate that on the internet. Just search a calorie calculator. It's pretty simple, and then it will ask you for your age, it will ask you for your length, and it will ask you for your weight, and then it will also ask you for how frequently you train, and then it will kick out your maintenance calories. And then say now your maintenance calories is 2,500 calories, then it will say eat 2,400 for slight weight loss, eat 2,200 for mild weight loss, eat 2,000 calories for like extreme weight loss or whatever. Don't take those amounts because obviously they're not accurate, but you get the idea. That's a very cool way of tracking it. And so when I started being considerate about what I put in my body and what the amounts of calories are in certain foods, these are things, you are mumbling, these are things that you pick up over time. So be aware of that. If you're like very serious about the gym, you would have probably already done that. You probably already know like what that process is and whatnot. But so be aware of the calories in food, and it will make it so much easier. Then you can know, what are calorie dense foods. What foods just add unnecessary macros that won't aid to your goal. And say now you want to lose weight, knowing what foods are calorie dense, like bread or pasta. Usually carbs are very calorie dense, or oils. I mean, you'd be surprised how much calories there is in oils, like olive oil and like seed oils, or all that, the stuff you use to bake an egg or to make some chicken in the pan or whatever. That adds up, and it adds up immensely, like so much more than the actual food that you're actually preparing the oil with. So be aware of that. I have one friend that is in great shape. Like, he really takes great care of his health. He trains actively every day, and he couldn't figure out why he wasn't getting to his goal, and his goal was to get leaner. And he's like, I eat great. In the morning, I have my eggs, I have spinach, I'll have my steak, and I'll have my whatever. I'll get all my macros in. By the way, I made a video on knowing your macros, what macros are. I made a short on it. I'll link it in the bio. But said, I'm covering all my macros, but I'm not getting to my goal, and I don't know why. It's been like a month, I don't see any progress. And then, he said, I asked him, what do you use and all that. And by the way, this is a guy that's, he's in better shape than me, and so these are just basic things that, if you figure it out, it's a great thing to learn. So we came down to the conclusion that he's using oil every time he cooks his food. So we'll use avocado oil or olive oil, which essentially, are the right ones. And, I try to stay away from them predominantly, but, if I would eat oils, or if I would use oil with my food, it would be those. And he just figured out, like, he said, I'm using oil every time I make food, and I uses quite a bit of it. And so, that's just basically one way to, figure out why aren't you hitting a goal. So I remember when I was in high school, preparing for like sports seasons and trying to pick up weight, I would make these shakes, and I didn't have a mass gainer at that time, and neither did I like totally understand the concept of what I kind of just explained. So people just told me, take oats, take peanut butter, take your protein powder, put it all together, take syrup, and I would make myself a shake, and it was delicious, obviously, as you could think. Obviously I blended it, so it wasn't just like whole oats, but I would drink that, and that's extremely calorie dense. So these are kind of like recipes to aid to your goal and to get to your goal quicker. But I don't suggest dirty bulking. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm also not saying eat a lot of junk food and all that, because that's just promoting an unhealthy lifestyle, and we don't want that, or I don't want that, at least. So anyways, but yeah, so there's great tools out there to aid you in your goal, whether it's getting lean or picking up weight. Like, for instance, if you're trying to get lean, cut back on the sugars, cut back on bread. Like, I don't eat bread when I want to get lean. Consider things like low calorie drinks or low calorie snacks, something like chips or crisps or whatever is extremely calorie dense, and people don't realize, because you can eat a full pack of crisps or chips like that in like 15 minutes, and that's easily like 1,500, 1,700 calories just in one bag, which is insane. So anyways, I ate some legs today, and it was great. And this is just my reminder to you guys. Never forget hitting legs. And I know that's not even a thing, because no one forgets hitting legs, except if you do it on purpose. So always do your legs. It really does affect your whole physique. It affects everything. And if there's one body part that I would suggest working out, it would be legs above all else. Doesn't matter how big arms you want, doesn't matter how big of a chest you want, don't neglect legs. Anyways, stopping here at the mall. I'm gonna get myself some food, and I'll see you guys again next week.